This video is probably going to be very unedited. I don't even know if it's going to be public or not. I expect I probably will make it public for the sake of the stuff I'm going to be saying, but you guys might have been able to tell by the title. This video is about arthritis. I've kind of been inspired to make one, I guess. I saw a Versus Arthritis advert on YouTube, and I went through, and you can probably tell by my eyes, it made me a little bit emotional. And I may get emotional in this video. So there's going to be a lot of pauses, a lot of thinking, and I'm probably just going to leave it unedited. But it's something that I've not really sat down and spoken about. And after seeing these adverts, watching through them and everything, it's something that I feel like I might finally have a handle on how to explain it, I suppose. But at the same time, there's no way to explain it, is the only way I can sort of say it. Sorry if I'm not looking at the camera, I'm all over the place. So if you guys have been following me for a while, you'll know that I struggle a lot with the basis of arthritis. Arthritis is what I'm going to say is an umbrella term. I struggle with rheumatoid and psoriatic arthritis. Psoriasis is a skin condition, which I think a lot of people are familiar with. And you can see it on my scalp up there, sort of like, it's not very nice. Causes rawness of the skin, lots of flaking, all that. Rheumatoid arthritis is the more common term. And I think I'm probably just going to start off by talking about when I was first diagnosed and the story of it, which again, this might be a longer video, but I have no idea how long it's going to be, what I'm going to talk about, if I'm even going to edit it or anything, I don't know. But when I was 13, I had a meningitis scare. Meningitis is I think the right term is virus that kills off your veins. It cuts off the blood flow in your veins, and it kills you within 4 hours. I had 3 hours. After that, it seemed that my immune system had some sort of kickstart, and it essentially, I'm getting emotional already. This is not good. What arthritis kind of is it's your body attacking yourself. So with the meningitis scare, again, I was very young. I was 13. I was very lucky to get out of it the way I did, let alone get out of it alive, to be honest. Was not a fun time. Big old penicillin needle in my ass cheek. It was great time. It's also why I'm scared of injection needles now. They tried to get a drug drip into me, and I think they put 12 needles into me, and they couldn't get it through, so that's when the penicillin came in. Luckily, I wasn't allergic. That could have been scary. But, yeah, so after that, I used to do jiu-jitsu when I was a teenager. I would go every Wednesday, I think it was, or Thursday. And we started doing punches, which isn't particularly common in jiu-jitsu, but we started practicing it. And I noticed that I was getting like some swelling in my fingers, and it was starting to hurt a bit. So we got it checked out, and sometimes you can be very lucky. Sometimes the diagnosis can be found within weeks. I was sort of like a middle ground. It took a few months to get a basic diagnosis. Initially, it was just juvenile arthritis, which, as the name suggests, is underage arthritis, like minor arthritis, I guess. And I have been on medication after medication after medication for years now. They start you off on this horrific drug called methotrexate. It's a chemotherapy drug. It's not very nice. They start you off on the pills, and it's really not a fun time. You take it, you feel sick. On top of the arthritis, you get tired, and I will go into how arthritis makes you feel, I guess. I'm just going to try to keep talking, because it's probably going to be unedited. It's going to be very raw, so yeah. I've just never really done this before, so yeah. Just said yeah twice. Nice. So I was diagnosed at 13, and over, I'd say, the next 2 years or so, it it progressively got worse, more so spreading in my hands and my wrists. I started to use a laptop at school. I was undergraded on my engineering due to the condition. I was going to be a nuclear engineer. I was really thriving in it. I was excited to do science, and it's happened a few times, which I'll go into, but to just have something that you are so passionate about just ripped away from you for a condition that prior you thought was only common in elderly people, it's something you really struggle to deal with. I was going through a very depressing time as well over those couple years, and that was sort of like the cherry on top. I won't go too much into that, but it was not fun to deal with. Yeah, it really wasn't. I had people looking at me in school being like, why is this kid on a laptop? You know, all that. Why is he struggling to get around? Why is he struggling to open doors? Wasn't fun. So, fast forward to about 16, 17, I started college, music performance, ridden of anxiety. It was not a fun time in my life. And that's when it started to become worse. During the year after, so after music performance, obviously I was struggling. I couldn't learn an instrument because of my fingers and my wrists. And at that point, luckily, well, I don't really know if I should use that word, but at that point it was only in my fingers and wrists. And then come the year after, I started an apprenticeship. I was still on this methotrexate, I believe. Yes, I was. I was still on the methotrexate at the time, but they swapped me over to injections, which I'm now on monthly injections, which again I'll go into later on, but it was still the same drugs. It was horrific. Made you feel sick. Started the apprenticeship. About 5 months in, I had to take a month off because I was immobile, pretty much. I was constantly sick. I was bedbound. It was really not a good time, and I was made to feel guilty because of it. There was me and some girl, we're gonna call her Heather. So me and Heather were about the same age. She was working, and this is nothing against her. She did nothing wrong. She was actually very lovely. She's really nice to talk to. After the month off, I came back, and Heather was getting all of the meaningful work, all of the important stuff, and I was getting given all of the paperwork, all of the boring documents, all of the above. And it hurt, and I felt it a lot. I would always get snide comments from my boss, being like, oh, you're actually in today, and stuff like that. And so before long, my legs started to hurt, which was kind of the biggest turning point for me. So due to all of that with the co-workers, my bones, I decided to quit. I was with somebody at the time, and we went on a walk, on a little hike, and that's when I really felt the struggle. So I decided to purchase myself a walking stick. A few months later, I was on that walking stick for 12 months. Don't know why I didn't just say a year, but it was a very rough time. They started to move me from methotrexate to a drug called Humira, which was something. It was better than the methotrexate. It was in no way good, but I was mixing between 150 milligrams and then 300 milligrams a month, so between 1 or 2 injections, and then I had to do withdrawal, and it was hell. That's the only way I can explain it. So at the moment, this is more about the medication, but it's a big part of it. So, yeah, I was on the walking stick for a year, on that medication, and then I tried to go back to college. But just before I went back to college, they took me off of the Humira, and unfortunately, the way the drugs work is you have to withdraw from the drugs completely for 3 months. So you have to go without any of the medication aside from tablets in your body. That helps the pain even just a little bit. And with the season change, with my eczema, with my bones, it was awful. It was actually awful. yeah, I was bedbound for a month again, but even worse so than before. I was awake for approximately 5 hours a day, going to sleep just so I could get rid of the pain. Yeah, so then I started college again, production arts. Big waste of time. Met some amazing people, and they're still friends to this day, so that's the highlight of it. But they finally put me on a drug called Cosentyx, which I was quite frustrated with because this drug had been out for 2 years, and it was directly for psoriatic arthritis, which is my condition, which they failed to tell me that there was a drug for it. But it is what I'm on now. I'm much more able than I was. I'm off the walking stick. I always remember my 19th birthday, I think it was. I decided to take a walk up the stairs without the walking stick, and it was the most freeing thing ever. Which is sad, to be honest. But so that was like the medication side of things. I took it 2 days ago. You get withdrawal within the last week before you take it, and you can be dosed. I'm dosed up to hell today. I managed to record Soul Link and the Rampart video, which I hope you guys enjoyed, by the way. But I'm dosed up to high hell. I was barely able to get any of that done. And then there's housework on top of that, and we'll get into that. Yeah, so the medication, it's not really much to talk about there. Side effects of any medication. But it's more so that piled on top of the arthritis, which I'll talk about now. So yeah, I was watching these adverts, and it made me cry a lot, because it was... People ask you, what is arthritis? How does it affect you day to day? And you see my eyes going a bit. And you don't know how to answer. How are you supposed to tell somebody your age that you can't do what they can do? How can you tell somebody that you had to leave university because you can't walk up the slope, and once you get up there you can't sit and focus in a lesson? How are you supposed to tell somebody you struggle to do the dishes, do the washing, take bins out, get yourself fucking dressed? Like, the majority of the time I'm going around in joggers because I can't do buttons. There's no way to explain that to somebody. And the pain is inexplainable. I watched one of the adverts, which, by the way, I'm going to link the channel down below because it would mean the world to me if some of you guys could watch some of those videos there. 30-second to 3-minute videos, and they explain it so much better than I'm going to. But there was one video where they were talking without knowing that their loved ones were in a different room, listening. And it was emotional, very emotional. It kind of made me feel like I had a way to explain things now. So I'm just trying to figure out where I should be starting with this bit. You grow up, like, being diagnosed at 13, you grow up not being able... There was this one time, one of my friends wanted to watch some films. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm in way too much pain today. And then some other friends went to the club that night, and I thought, screw it, you know what? I'm the master of my own body. That's what I thought at the time. I want to go. I lost 10 friends because of that. Because they didn't understand my condition. They thought they understood it more than I do. And they didn't understand that sometimes it can be better, and sometimes you just want to go out. And for the record, I went to the club for 20 minutes before asking for a lift home, because I couldn't stay out. I just wanted to be normal. You grow up not being normal, and it's difficult. It's really, really difficult. Really difficult. I tried engineering, I tried music performance, I tried production arts, I tried game design. I couldn't do any of them because of this condition, because it beat me. And every day, it's not... so some of the videos sort of put it this way, it's not just a little bit of stiffness, it's not a little pain in your joints. It's excruciating. there was one video I watched called Behind the Smile, and I know it sounds very cliche, but it did it really well. You tell people you're fine, you're okay, and for example, Bri, if you're watching this, she's my best friend, and she asks me every morning, are you okay? And I'm not going to go every morning saying that my body is burning and I can barely stand up, because it's like that every day. Getting emotional again. Every day I try to sleep more so I don't have to get up because I'm in pain. That is the thought that goes through my head. I wake up and I just try to go back to sleep, because I have to get up, I have to shower, I have to make breakfast, and it is excruciating. It is incredibly excruciating. Lifting a spoon to my mouth, I have to take breaks. I can't cut my own food, to an extent anyway. And I can with some things, but it kills me. It really does. I struggle to put on a shirt in the morning. I struggle to get down and pull my joggers up. I struggle to put my shoes on, because all it feels like is a hot burning rod being in place of your bones, and it just feels like it's burning all the time. And that's on a good day. On a bad day, I can't stand up. On a bad day, I can't make myself a cup of tea, I can't make myself food. I will go hungry because I can't walk to the kitchen. And you guys can see, like, right over here, pretty much where my hand is, just a little bit over there, that's my sofa. That's my kitchen. And I sometimes can't do that walk because it hurts. And it's struggle enough to deal with it yourself, and you don't want to put the burden on anybody else. My ex was the only person that I trusted with it fully for the first time. She would let me put my arm around her, and she would like keep me up, because sometimes I just couldn't. And you don't want to do that to a person. You don't. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna cry during this. Very close. You don't want to go through town leaning on somebody when you're 19 years old. You don't want to be having to ask your parents to help you out with washing or doing the dishes when you're 21. You don't want to ask your best friend to be helping you with stuff in your own place because you can't do it yourself sometimes. I know this is very heavy shit, but I just want to sit down and talk about it because it's really hit me hard tonight. And I know I'm speaking quietly, I'm hoping the mic's picking it up okay. But amount of times I've forced myself out to try and be normal because I don't want to miss out on these things. I really don't. I have lost 8 years of my life already to this fucking disease. And I haven't mentioned this, it doesn't go away. There's no cure. There is no cure for arthritis. And 9 times out of 10 it's a progressive condition. You know, I started at 13 with swelling in my index finger. Now it's in every bone of my body. And I wish I could explain to you guys what it's like to wake up and have to deal with that shit every fucking day. And I know I'm swearing a bit more, but it's kind of hard not to. There's the mental side of it, and it's a real struggle. You see your peers, you see people going out to parties, you see people going to the gym, you see people working and doing all of that, and you feel like shit. And that's not their fault, but you can't help but just be jealous. You can't help but look in the mirror, see this invisible disease, and think, you look just like them. Why can you not do this? And that's what it is. It's invisible. People don't understand that. It's why I want to get better at explaining it, because I'm still going through times where I have to try and explain my condition to the people closest to me, and it's infuriating. It's not their fault, but how do you make somebody understand this? And it's a big struggle. A big struggle. And you get angry, you get upset, you get depressed. Days where I feel mentally good, physically I'm not, and vice versa. You guys know the amount of times I've had to cancel streams or delay videos because of this. And it's disgusting. It doesn't care who you are. It doesn't give a shit. I know that's how diseases work, but it really doesn't. I had so many career options, and I'm loving editing, and I really hope that I can kick it off. I love creating, but I had so many before that, and they were all ripped away from me. I couldn't do shows because I couldn't stand. And that's just the big things. I know I've already been through it, but messaging my best friend in the morning kills my wrists. Scrolling social media and holding my phone up. Sometimes I've dropped my phone because I just can't hold it up. I can't play Pokemon because I can't grip the Switch. And it's not something you can explain. But the pain side of it, it started off being a really well scripted video and now it's gone to shit. But the pain side of it, it does feel like you've just got a hot rod in your body the whole time. And again, that's on a good day. Like, it's just burning constantly. It's burning and it's swollen and it's painful. It's not nice. It's really not nice. And the social side of it, I'm very lucky now that I have people around me that, I'm not going to say understand, because I don't think anybody can unless you have it, but people who understand my reason for being the way I am. I'm not lazy, even though I've been called it multiple times. And I'm not a bum. I cannot work. I have tried multiple jobs. I cannot work. But you just look at yourself and you think, why can't I be like them? I go to a shop in a wheelchair and I think, why can I not do this? Because I can barely sit down in one spot for 10 minutes to do some work, let alone 6 hours at a time on a shift. I've had people tell me, oh, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. I can't. And they don't understand that. And it's infuriating. But you live with the cards you've been dealt. This is a very bad night, so I thought I would take the advantage to record this and let people know. And I didn't fully cry. That's the start. I'm probably going to wrap it off here, I guess. But I want to thank you guys so much if you watched this far. It means the world to me. It's been a long time coming to sit down and talk about this. But just if you know anybody with any condition, just do me a favor. Don't assume that you know it better than them. Even clear it up with them, because I don't like to be told, what if you could do this? Because I know what I can and can't do. And the can is not a lot. But just be kind and love those around you. And put up with me. Because this is what I want to be doing. And I want to beat this shit. and I really do not want to let it take control of my life, even though that's what it does every single day.